And in business now, the federal government is set to formally unveil the Equipment Leasing Registration Authority on Tuesday, November 7th, 2023, in Abuja as part of overall measures to bolster the equipment leasing sector into a developed status. The authority's executive chairman, Engineer Saidu Nida, in a statement said the unveiling ceremony will be performed by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, and will enable the authority to play the role of a key driver and facilitator of two of the 8-point agenda of President Bola Tinubu administration: access to capital and job creation. The chairman said the implementation of the Equipment Leasing Act, a viable alternative to loan, heralds a new era of enhanced revenue generation, given that the industry is capable of generating an estimated total volume of $1.5 trillion globally, accounting for 20% of total investment in equipment and contributing about 1.5% of gross domestic product. Equipment Leasing Registration Authority Board was inaugurated in May 2022 by the former Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, in accordance with Section 8 of the Equipment Leasing Act 2015. And in the meantime, the federal government says it has finalized the payment of 1.02 billion naira to 7,091 pensioners of the power and transport sectors of the Parastatus Pension Department. The head Corporate Communications Unit Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, Mr. Ulu Bengajai, who disclosed this in a statement, said the payment represents 39% of the accrued pension arrears owed pensioners in these said sectors for the period August 2015 to September 2023. The Executive Secretary of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, Dr. Chioma Ejikeme, said the back-end computation exercise was necessitated by the need to ensure that each pensioner earned their rightful pension for fairness, equity, and justice in line with the Directorate's mandate. She assured federal pensioners under the defined benefit scheme that the federal government is committed to their welfare and the arrears will continue to be paid until all accrued pension arrears were liquidated, subject to the government funding. And now more than 2,000 investors are set for this year's diaspora investment in Nigeria. This is according to the chairman and CEO Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabire-Arewa. The theme for this year's edition, tagged New Vista and New Aspirations, the Diaspora and National Development, has its primary intention on agriculture and its low-hanging fruit for food security and economic growth in the nation. The Commission's boss, while addressing the media in Abuja, said the summit, which will attract participants across various sectors of the economy, features business pitching sessions, policy statement by high-level government officials, and networking opportunities for business connections, including business exhibitions, among others. Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit, which was launched in 2018, is jointly organized by the Nigeria Diaspora Summit Initiative and the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission to facilitate engagement between Nigerians in diaspora and the home country.
This is a private sector initiative supported by the Nigerian government through the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. So the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, as the lead agency of government, is partnering with NDIS, the private sector initiative, so that we can have both government and private sector put this together. So what's our aim? To demonstrate that in the face of stiff competition for foreign direct investment, targeting Nigerians in the diaspora for inward investment is probably the best strategy for a country like Nigeria, with over 15 million of its citizens carefully domiciled in diaspora. So NDIS provides a unique platform for engagement between the Nigerian diaspora and global investors, promoting innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth and development in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, our vision is to work with stakeholders, including government and private sector, and members of the social sector like ourselves, to unlock the humongous potential of agribusiness and agriculture in Nigeria, working with everyone who has the same mindset with us. And that is where we found opportunity in what NIDCOM and NDSI is doing. Why? Because we saw that it's a platform, a veritable platform for us to key into. Because we believe that the resources of Nigeria that are out there have a very good role to play in Nigeria's economic and social development, like the chairman of NIDCOM has mentioned.
Nigeria can feed the whole of Africa agriculturally, and we have the opportunities, and we have experts in our diaspora that could take advantage of that. The government is now liberalizing things for our diasporans to come and take advantage. And I think in this sixth summit we are going to have, we are going to see abundant opportunities for us to, but we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in this country. If Chinese and Indians could come and put money, I don't see why Nigerians could not do it. Make cooperatives come in and invest. This is what we should do.
Now, Dangote Industries Limited has revealed that its Pan-African operators have fetched Nigeria $687.97 million. The company stated it has so far repatriated more than $576 million through various banks in Nigeria, in addition to a $111.96 million cash swap arrangement between Dangote Cement and Ethiopian Airlines, while saving the same amount that will have been paid by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The company reaffirmed its determination and belief in Nigeria that the present government of President Bola Tinubu has shown the will and resolve to get the economy moving again. The company further explained that its massive investment in Pan-African will lead to the repatriation of forex in the near future and boost foreign exchange earnings and stabilize the forex market. Let's take a look at some numbers in the global equities market. Now, Asian stock markets continued their upward momentum today, marking the fourth consecutive session of the gains. Investors reacted to the anticipation of interest rate cuts in both the United States and Europe as they placed bullish bets on these expectations. Elsewhere, hopes for lower borrowing costs help MSCI's Broadex Index of Asia Pacific shares outside Japan gain 1.7%, having already rallied 2.8% last week and away from one-year lows. Japan's Nikkei rose another 2.5% after jumping 3.1% last week, while South Korea climbed 3.9% as authorities reimposed a ban on short selling to mid-2024. Chinese blue chips gained 0.8% ahead of data on trade and inflation due later this week. S&P 500 futures and Nasdaq futures were both flat, while Euro Stoxx 50 futures were also little moved. FTSE 100 futures inched 0.1%. Indonesia's economy registered solid growth in the third quarter, although it slowed more than expected to its weakest in 2 years as export depreciated and household spending dropped. Gross domestic product declined to 4.94% annually in July to September quarter from 5.17% growth logged in the second quarter. Economists widely expect Southeast Asia's largest economy to soften this year due to a cut in domestic interest rate hikes, falling commodity prices and weakening global growth. A surprise rate hike from Bank Indonesia last month aimed at defending the falling rupiah currency has taken total rate increases since last year to 250 basis points. Now, Barclays said it now expects the U.S. Federal Reserve to deliver a 25 basis point interest rate increase in January instead of an earlier expectation for a December hike. The brokerage cited softer than expected October employment data and dovish federal commentary for the forecast pushed to next year. The Labor Department's closely watched employment report last week showed that the unemployment rate rose to 3.9% last month, the highest level since January 2022 from 3.8% in September 2023. Economists at Barclays had said that Federal Open Market Committee will need to proceed with additional tightening and will have to maintain a higher rate path than expected by the market with no rate cut prior to September 2024. Now let's take a look at the commodities market now. Crude oil prices rose today after two exporters, Saudi Arabia and Russia, reaffirmed their commitment to extra voluntary oil supply cut until the end of next day of the year. U.S. West Texas Intermediate rose to sell at $81.71 per barrel with an upsurge of 1.49%. Brent crude futures also experienced an upward price margin of 1.38% to sell at $86.06 per barrel. Bonnie Light recorded a downward price reveal of 1.09% to sell at $87.06 per barrel. For the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers are offering $89.04 per barrel with an upward price reveal of 0.54%.